Hello and welcome back to Tropico 6 survival mode once more. Yeah, having some good time here with exporting right now. Lots of stuff being outbound. Also another trade here with 55,000 credits we just made, or dollars, sorry. And also we have breached 500 on the population. So at least that has been done. Perfect. Let's quickly check out my trade routes again, because we have some nifty things that we can have a look at. And one of them is cigars. There it is finally again, right? So 25% above standard price. Of course we're going ahead with this, as this is just a very profitable industry for us overall. The weapons is still running, the rum is still running. So these are my most important goods, but we also have cloth now. It's a tiny trade, right? But it's something that we can increase our reputation with the axis. So let's go ahead and have this one here working as well, since the volume of cloth is actually pretty high, and we're producing that in masses. So that's fine. Now with that amount of money, also my bank is continuing to generate more money now, so 700 per month, which is great, of course. Free money, that is basically 170,000. We could actually do something with that. And that is my commando garrison. We need to provide this one to send commandos on raids and destabilize the Caribbean. This is actually something that we need to do if finish sabotages for the allies or for the Axis in order to get them to the next era, right? With that we can push actually into the Cold War era. So let's go ahead and play it out. Yeah, it's a rather secret building, so I would like to have it perhaps a bit further away, hidden from sight. Should not be that visible, because we're doing some shady things in it, of course. So somewhere here behind my embassies should be fine. And it's going to take a while for this to build again. Healthcare is actually rather bad for my people right now. Now, we are not having elections, but I still don't want to get my support rating too low. That would lead to riots, unnecessarily losing workforce, hurting economy overall. And housing is something that we can fix actually, because with that we can push the budgets now for all my bunk houses, for my apartments, and for my flop houses here to level 3 again. And with that, increase the housing quality. Using some electricity would further improve that. So electricity might be something we can actually have a look at soon as well. Military-wise, we still have that fort and the barracks. That's 2 infantry squads we can have out of them. Still, I would like to go with the army base now too. This is providing me a tank squad then. It's rather expensive, and it's also rather huge. So in this case, let's have it also then in the back here in my, let's call it military district for the moment. Over there with its own entrance there, and that should be fine then already to get me some there. Again, we just need to be careful to not get my expenses up too much, right? Healthcare. Why is healthcare so low? Let's increase the budget for my clinics, and let's also increase the service quality with that upgrade here for them. Yeah, it's not a good time really for elections, even if my citizens want to. I'm sorry for that. We're not providing that. That's actually tanking my support rating by 30% right away to 22. Temporarily, right? As long as I keep my things up here, we should be fine. Yeah, let's just hope that it actually stays like that. Another clinic might be something, so let's go ahead. I really want to get this rating up there again, so let's build this another clinic over here. Just behind the other one. Who needs windows, right? Who needs light? And yeah, let's increase the budget for this, invite the 2 doctors over, and increase the service quality as well. So that's 3 clinics now working for us. That should be fine. That was a lot of buildings that actually will cost me also a lot of money down the road. So let's be careful there. Let's also look out that my industry is working. And I think for now, we also have no empty storages anymore, any empty inputs. And also this our factory is now permanently supplied with tobacco, thanks to having now 155% efficiency rated plantations. They're working back to normal again, by the way, so the infestation is over. And there we have it. Also, the commander garrison is now up and running. Let's increase its budget. This is like the pirate growth, just in the next era now, right? So this is working pretty similar. You have a raid screen, you can have some treasure hunting with it, and you can do the sabotages with that. Let's start with some treasure hunts for it as well, for the pirate cove and for the commando garrison. And I would like to, increase my rating there with my superpowers. With the allies, we're actually at 100. So Erich von Strom, he wants to have me finish sabotages against the allies. And with that, we could actually get him to alliance them. It doesn't really matter what superpower we go alliance with, right? Because they don't exist anymore then in the next era. once more. So in that case, it's fine. And we can actually start with the sabotages on the allies. 4 times, and that is one requisite we have then for getting to the next era. Let's also request that alliance. And they also have it, the Winton Marlborough. They would also like me to finish sabotages against the Axis. So just like the Axis wants me against the allies. And with that, we would get the diplomatic state of the alliance then. I usually always go with the allies. So this time around, let's actually try and get alliances there with Erich von Strom. And with that, the Axis powers. Latest export was $82,000. That's a new record there for sure. We have finished the weapon export. Unfortunately, there's no new one here. So yeah, we're definitely not going to get this high anymore for some time being. There's also nothing else. Rubber might be something. We're going to need rubber for vehicle production at some point. But now we could also just ride on that wave of income. And from time to time, I also like to have a look at my city. The bustling streets of Tropico. Getting busier ever so slightly. There's also my restaurant, fully used. Making profit. It's making us some profit there. And we could increase the budget. We could... Nah, not really. There's nothing else we can do here for now. Just enjoying the sights. Yeah, very nice. Another 85,000 there. We are really making bank right now. Rubber was finished and... Oh, weapons as well. Yeah, weapons as well. Rubber and weapons. So I just hope... There is something! 25%! Hooray! Let's go with the highest volume there for sure. And the rubber was finished. Cloth. We already have one. It's only 8% above standard price. And it's not that close to completion yet. So we'd rather just wait it out. In the meantime, also my army base has been finished. Let's increase its budget to have it some... Oh, actually we don't need that, right? That would be too much. We can upgrade a tank then up to that. And with that we have a military strength of 165. It adds to the current total military strength that we have then 330. So it's actually contributing half of my military strength now in total. And this one here, yeah, basically provides me now a tank squad that we can use to engage attackers. Like rebels, for example. Like, yes, we don't have a rebel threat at the moment. This brings me to another thing that we should probably add now, and that's electricity. For that, we do need a proper space. Electricity early on is going to be rather dirty, since we're going to use the coal power plant for that. And there we have it. Processes coal to supply electrical power, provides an electrical power grid, and emits some pollution there as well. Also, yeah, not the smallest building in the world. Somewhere over here, yeah, at the end of this, we can actually have it. And I would like to go ahead with it. And with that, we can go ahead and have then some power. We will need the electrical substation for this as well to increase then the power grid somewhere over there so that we can cover the whole side of my city with that. And there it is in all its glory. Let's just invite some high school kiddies over. Let's increase its budget there as well. And this one will now generate power out of coal. For that, we probably should have looked at another coal mine. I'm not allowed to import. Right, that is one of the rules. So I can of course add a second one here, and that's exactly what we're doing there. We still have 180,000 coal in deposit there. This should last us quite some time until we get to better power production. And another trade route finished. The cloth one, 60,000 on the export. Cigars would be there. Oh, boats. We don't have boats there at the moment. I love it. That's 24% increase in boat prices. That's just lovely. And steel, we have weapons. We have a new trade route available. This one here is still lasting though for a while. Nothing I need to worry about for a moment. Coal is in, and with that we're producing electricity. Hooray! And those rich workers actually can get to this area here by car, right? So we don't need to have a housing or houses close by, because the workers are so rich they can afford cars and they just travel over there by car, basically producing me now some 375 megawatt of power. With that, let's go ahead and also then increase our power grid. And as you can see, with a substation we can expand it quite a bit, since the range of the basic one is rather low. Let's just have it instead of, yeah, here probably by the circus. We can have one. Build it quickly, doesn't need any workers or so. Just here on the field we have it now, and this increases now the power grid to this whole area, basically all my people. And with that, yeah, we could go ahead now and increase or finally introduce electrification to my people. This will increase the housing efficiency by 25%. And I would like to do it for all of my apartments and probably also all of my flop houses. There you go. This will consume now some electricity, and the total demand here is now at, yeah, half of what we actually produce. So we still have some left over. We also finished the first sabotage against the allies, and with that we are one step closer to allies, or being alliance state with the Axis. Another important building we should add now is the ministry. So the ministry adds political factions to improve my society or gain illegal earnings from accepting bribes. It's a pretty big building, right? But still something we should be having, yeah, somewhere here in my government area where I would like to have it. We can either have it up there or we could have it in here. I think it's a bit safer to go in here. Alright, another disaster hits. It's the drought. And with that, my plantations now basically produce almost nothing anymore, so half of only their output. Do not worry, the predictions of flash fires burning down buildings are surely overly cautious. However, we may have to switch off the palace water slide for a few days, and it may also be prudent to consider taking steps to address the concerns of the citizens and conserve water for industrial buildings, conserve water for residential buildings, or pray for rain and hope for the best. The worst option there. We have enough money, so let's actually conserve water for residential buildings. This is very sensible because with that we actually increase our support rating there immediately, and we basically want to keep this at least above 40%. We can really feel the heat coming down on the island. Hopefully people have air conditioners, and yeah, well, at least we have electricity, so this should be theoretically possible, even though we are in 1936. So does air conditioning exist already? I don't think so, unfortunately. So it will be hard to bury yourself in a cave or something like that to survive this. Also, my logging camps are, working at a very low, reduced efficiency. We are not getting any disaster reliefs from the allies because, we basically switched it off. And a few logs I still have, though, to make planks. And, the shipyard can still work for the time being. Another thing over here, finally, there it is, my ministry. Let's actually have some parks here, right? So this makes sense to me to have it on that side, and also over here. And with that, we can now turn in, or well, activate the departments, and we have several of them, and we have also several applicants for each one of them. And it's pretty important, right? So we have the different factions, like the capitalists and religious people, and whoever we actually assign not only gives me a certain bonus, but we can also increase our reputation with them. And this is something we probably should do. Let's also praise the Axis there from time to time, by the way. And the allies, we can ask for financial help. We're sabotaging them, but they still give me money, right? Not that we really need the money. Okay, officially, we do need money, so give it to me. Perfect. Now let's just have a quick look. We don't have any education at this point in Tropico. Probably something I should work on at some point now, because, people are not too happy with no schools. So for now, this one doesn't really have an effect. We can still have someone here. Yeah, since we're a dictatorship, we probably should go with communist candidate, because for the people, we say it, right, and increases student slots in high schools and colleges by 2 per teacher. And, oh, this was also communist then, yeah, perfect. We have Department of Defense. This is actually pretty important. Police stations will provide infantry squads, or we reduce the upkeep cost of military buildings, or we get 75 Swiss money per month when we use the broker candidate. Let's actually go ahead with this one, honestly, because we have a pretty strong military at this point, and I don't need to worry about the upkeep cost there at all. Department of Economy. I think we can also increase our Swiss account with that again. We can also go with efficiency of buildings on maximum budget by 7%. This is really cool. So if we have maximum budget on a building, we get another 7% in addition. So let's go ahead and add the capitalist for this. And then we have the foreign affairs. We get another 100 Swiss per month. I think we're going ahead with that. That's the best one option that we have. And Department of Interior. Rebels and criminals have a 10% chance to lose their role every time they visit a chapel, church and cathedral. I like this one as well because it basically reduces the rebels that we have in Tropico. Even though we are at 44% support rating, I don't really fear any rebels. We can further lower it with this minister. Alright, not looking so bad export rating, despite that drought that we have there. Probably will not be a record income here, but it should still be fine. 50,000, that's okay. Boats, we still have weapons, cigars, so my most important ones are active. Cloth would be amazing. Unfortunately, nothing of that is coming in. And yeah, let's go ahead and actually provide that high school to my people. It should probably be somewhere central, and I think this is a good location, just by the plantations as well. So daytime they can work on the plantations, and later afternoon they go tend to the school, or vice versa.
I understand.
And with that, we have also finished the drought, or survived the drought, and we can also set our diplomatic state of the Axis to allies.
The only choice available, Presidente.
Now we can progress to Cold War, Erich von Strom.
Do not change your mind. We hate mind changers.
And on our list of war priorities, you are very low. You may, however, find yourself somewhat higher on the list of the Allied priorities. We require only that you survive the war and do not make a fuss. We hate fuss also. And with that, we need to just survive now the war, so 3,600 days, and also survive 6 invasions. Now this is actually a bit of a problem. I would like to go ahead and get me another army base out there. Barracks should be fine, right? We should be able to squeeze them in there still somewhere. We can afford it, and I do want to have a bit bigger military just to be safe. Right, with that we have now 4 squads available. That really should be fine. Research-wise, so we can go for some new stuff. I would like to go ahead with the free wheels. So I'm not entirely sure I'm going to activate it just yet, because it's pretty expensive. But we have it at least on the list that is unlocked for our current era. And then there's also the martial law that I would like to get here. Cancels scheduled elections and prevents elections while active. Decreases the personal experience. We're going to just research this in case we need it, in case we have a forced election on us. We can cancel this one again. It does really decrease my tourist rating, but we are not having tourism for quite some time. That's fine. Another one that I would like to at least have in the queue is the wealth tax, and we gain some $5 for every rich or filthy rich adult each month. And since this is a number that is actually growing in Tropico with all the high-tech industry, we will make quite a nice amount of money with that. So let's just have this. In the meantime, also, my high school has been finished. It's a beautiful building, no doubt. And here, yeah, we already are full, so 40 out of 40 students. We can increase its efficiency there once again, and we could then add some more power later on. Work mode is also not really working, but at least that's something. With the budget increase, we actually get another row of pupils in, and happiness-wise, at least for education, yeah, food is fine now. Food is at 74. Fun is fine. Faith is the lowest at the moment, which is a good thing. Now that's a pretty cool contract here. 87% increase for oil with the allies. Let's go ahead and do this. And with that, we can export some oil. We should always have some oil there in storage that we can export. So that's a pretty nice increase there as well. Unfortunately, no weapon contract at the moment, which is definitely hurting us the most. Still 70,000. I'm happy with that. Looking at my unemployment rate, I can see that, yeah, we have probably, well, reached the point of where we probably don't want to have that much immigration anymore for the moment. So this is a great thing to have the immigration office now. I can say Tropico first decreases the immigration rate by 80% on base efficiency. There's also the skilled workers tree. I think this actually requires us a research that we still need to go ahead with for the work modes. Unfortunately, it's not in this era, right? So not here. And also not here. So in that case, we will need to wait for another era before we can go ahead with that. But Tropico first sounds good to me right now. We can't have it active though too long. It will definitely decrease my population there a bit. Tropicans don't like to schooly poop around that much, producing babies and stuff. Now, the only problem is that we actually have a pretty high unemployment rate of uneducated now. And I need to fix this somehow. And of course, we can do this by having low-tech industry, and one of them is the ranch that produces me a bit more milk. So I would like to go ahead and have this somewhere not too far away, hopefully. Yeah, somewhere here by the coal mine. That's not possible. On the other side there we have some mining, and then we can also have some ranches here. Well, not very good for plantations. This area certainly is good for ranches and stuff like that. That's one thing. And the other one is the fisherman wharf. We have fish grounds in the surrounding area. Let's have 2 of them. That's very cheap industry that we can use for our own consumption. We can also go ahead and make it a higher tech industry with the cannery. And this processes either pineapples or fish to produce canned food. It does require electricity. It's the first building that actually really requires electricity. 80 megawatt, we have that still. So let's go ahead and build us the cannery right next to the fisherman wharfs, then close to the docks. All right. And once this is working, we have some more jobs again. And more importantly, we have a new industry that we can then use for profit. And canned food is actually something that's coming up there all the time. Canned goods, there it is. Let's actually purchase another trade license. And as long as there's no weapons now active, perfect. Let's go ahead and go with the canned goods there. 24% increase in price. And let's finish those fisherman wharfs there. And let's also give those people there some place to live close by. Probably some flop houses here. On the other side, going then into my industrial zone. Let's increase the budget, of course. With the highest budget, we get another 7% in addition right away, thanks to our minister. And the forefather style, is no longer needed. So for every fish, we produce 2.2 units of fish for every 1 unit taken. The drifting net is a bit better there. Overall, I don't think we have any fish reserves that really go down there, as they replenish also rather quickly again. We can also get this very cheap upgrade there that produces me then some shellfish in addition. Go ahead and do this. Oh, on fire right away. We just built it. Uneducated workers, they probably did something nasty over there. Alright, but pineapple is at least in, the fish will be in, and we're already producing canned goods. Lots of that as well. There's lots of people here working already. We can get also an additional stock for meat. That's not really necessary. I don't see the advantage of that. So canned goods already being exported also at the 20% increase in price. How very lovely. And with that additional industry, we continue onwards in the next episode to the new era, I should say. Stay tuned.